Okay, guys, so we're up on this hill right here. I want to show you here. So look down there, and we'll just keep going. I want you guys to see right here. So right here, we're on top of a hill on about 20 acres of land. So we're going to drive over to that tree right there. Okay? So all of this, guys, is the Glory Ranch. Look over here. You see the lake is there. Beautiful oak trees everywhere. This is totally a God property. Okay? And let me drive on down here to this tree right here, and then I'm going to park the truck and I'm going to tell you guys this powerful story that happened. I'm going to give you some details. It's very important. And I've been waiting to share this with all of you guys for a long time. But just look at all of this beautiful land here. And we're going to have a revival here. We're literally going to have events here. And you guys can come if you want to, if you're local. We're over here in Brooksville, Florida. I'm pulling up to this top of this hill by this big oak tree right here. And let's park here. I'm gonna spend a few minutes with you and share this powerful story. I've been really looking forward to sharing this with you. So now, here we are. So right here we have, sorry about that, the truck does that when I get out with the keys are still in it. But right here, guys, you can see the road, and people will drive by and they're gonna see this massive white tent right up here by this tree. And we're thinking a very large tent. And so God came to me like right at the beginning of COVID, back on around April, when things started getting lockdowns and things. And God started sharing with me that he wanted me to do a revival, get some land. And I didn't know how I was supposed to do this because land is expensive, especially in Florida. And anyways, so when we decided to do this, my wife found this property on Zillow, and we never looked at another piece of property. Like, I saw the pictures in this property, and there was like this rainbow with this beautiful sunset, and it was like God spoke to me and said, that's it. And I never looked for another piece of property. So, crazy story. I reached out to the landowner and I walked up to him. He was coming down from his house, and I said I wanted to see the property. So I called this realtor, and he answered the phone. He says, let me call the owner and we'll check it out. So he calls me back in like 5 minutes. He says, this guy's going to meet you down here. So the property owner at the time, he came down. And I told him, I said, I'm going to put a white tent over here and we're going to have a revival on this piece of land. I said this about 9 months ago. Well, lo and behold, it wasn't right away. We went into a contract. I fell out of the contract because we didn't have enough money. So we were under a contract for 90 days, and guess what? The contract just went away. So they had to put the land back on the market, and I still believe that God wanted me to have this property. So about 2 months later, I think they had 4 other families that came to look at this property. That fell through. Then I was in negotiations with them, and they basically said that they would do a land contract if I would come up with a certain amount of money, which was a substantial amount of money. If you can imagine what 91 acres would cost in Florida, it's not cheap, and I don't want to get into numbers on this video or anything, but they basically said if I could come up with a certain amount of money down, then they would do a land contract. Okay, so I agreed. I was just walking on faith, and so we did another 90-day contract, and this was in November of 2020. Okay, so we fill out a contract in September, did a new contract in November. I committed to come up with, I'm just going to tell you guys, I had to come up with $350,000, and I have no idea how I was going to do this. Okay, so Christmas comes around, January, then all of a sudden one of my businesses, guys, I don't know if you guys know anything about what I do for a living, but I've been involved in internet marketing for a very long time. So one of the businesses that I actually started in November. It's so funny. So within 90 days, God exponentially 10x, 20x my business to where it was literally, I've been involved with the network marketing for like 20 years, besides being a musician, praise and worship guy. And I had never had success like this. So I literally watched God just pour in the funds. And here's what's so crazy. The business that he did that for, it actually went away right after that. So guys, there's the miracle. Not only that, the miracle of the property owners that had this property, they, for whatever reason, they held this property for us so we could actually do this revival that we want to do. Okay, so not only are we going to do a revival, but we live here, so we're going to continue to do revivals, hopefully several times a year in the near future. But let me talk to you guys about this. So basically, March comes around and God just gave us the money. We exponentially 20x'd our business. It was just incredible. We watched a miracle happen. Then that business just kind of went away, like the sales stopped coming in. So I really, really want you guys to understand that was a miraculous thing that God really did pour in the money. So the vision that he gave me, 9-10 months ago, 2020, April of 2020, it was a 10-month trial period, guys. Literally, like the process that we went through trying to acquire this land and watching it unfold and all the people that were involved. So I know that this is kind of long, guys, but I want to tell you guys the most powerful part of this story. And it's really important that you guys hear this part. Okay, let's walk over by this tree. So guys, let's track back to what happened. So his name's James. I met him in June. May, June, like right after I got the vision. And we found this property. It was around May, late May, early June. And we went into contract. That fell through in September. Then we redid another contract in November. And then God supernaturally brought us in the $350,000 that we needed to get onto the property. Now, obviously, the property is a lot more money than that. But they were able to, work with us, at least get us over here. And, God's going to take care of the rest of that. We firmly believe that. Okay, so here we are. But I want to talk to you guys about a couple things that happened. And it's, this might really excite you because it excites me. The relationships that were formed out of this whole process was just absolutely phenomenal. From the realtor that sold us the property, he believed in us. He's a born-again Christian, so he really loved what we were doing over here. God started to, share with him that he needed to help me get this going. The landowners that had the property, they went through, waiting for us for 9 months, and they could have sold this to anybody else, but they believed in the vision. So God was putting together all of these people for his glory, for his kingdom work, for what he wanted to do. And it wasn't just me, but it's always these people that he started to bring into our lives that were getting on board with this vision, with revival, okay? And we're going to have this amazing revival here. The first one we're going to do is going to be in October, date to be announced. But I want to talk to you guys about what happened on the first part of the contract. This is really amazing. So when we first signed the contract, these guys were going on complete faith. They just said, we weren't going to get a loan from a bank. I just told them that I'll be able to come up with the money. Somehow I'm going to be able to come up with the money. They did the contract. Don't even know how or why they did it, but that was God just, leading them. And, he was leading them to work with us because this was all part of his plan. So he was putting everything together. So that's a miraculous thing. But then I want you to understand something, guys. We live in Brooksville, Florida, okay? Right after we did the first contract, a white dove appeared on the roof of the house and stayed there for 12 hours. And James was telling me he's been here his whole life, okay? 40 years, grew up here. Never seen a dove in Florida ever. let alone a white dove. That's very symbolic, guys. This dove came onto the house and stayed there for 12 hours. That was the Father saying, you know, I got this. I'm going to be with you here. Hey, it's actually starting to rain here while I'm doing this video. That's amazing. We haven't had rain in like 3 months. What's going on here? So a white dove appeared, and that just gave me all the hope. I shared that with my mom. She starts weeping. Crazy, right? And then, so fast forward, fell out of that contract. Right after the dove story, like 90 days goes by, we filed the contract. 4 other families came to look at it. That fell through for them. We got back in. God supernaturally expedited my business, and we were able to come up with the down payment for the property. Just an incredible story, guys. So this is what God is doing right now. He is moving upon his people. I am faithful, and I am following his lead here, and I'm going to do a tent revival. You guys, I want you to think about, you know, you guys have heard of Creation, maybe a live fest. We're going to have amazing speakers here, spirit-filled speakers, okay? You know, I'm going to be leading worship here at the first event. And, you know, my goal is down the road is for us to get in some, you know, some other people. You know, I would love to get Mario Murillo Ministries here. Some of you guys might know who that is. But I've been donating into his ministry for a long time now. So I'm going to be inviting him to come out and speak at the tent. If you guys don't know anything about him, he's got a tent revival happening in California. So I'd love to get him out here for our event, okay? And we just want to see God move in a supernatural way. We want to draw people in for the love and the grace that Jesus Christ has for our lives. And we don't want people to be condemned. We want people to feel loved, okay? That is the purpose and the vision of Glory Ranch, to draw people in, know that they're loved, they are forgiven, and because if they understand the grace that they have through Christ Jesus, if they understand the grace, therefore they can change, okay? We want to draw people in through love, and I'm just super excited, guys. And then one other thing I wanted to tell you guys that's very prophetic is a friend of mine who's now a friend of mine, has like 4 special needs kids. She was driving down the road here, and I didn't know her at the time, but she called the realtor. Somehow they knew each other, and this woman actually said, her name is Monica, by the way. She actually said that she sensed revival on this property that we were looking at. And Robert is his name, the realtor. He actually said, well, you're not going to believe this. This guy named Jeremy Barnett is planning to do a revival, and he's under contract to get this land. So anyways, long story short, we became friends with her and her husband, Ricky. They have 8, 9, 10 maybe kids. They're just salts of the earth, and they're going to be a part of this ministry over here. So God is just bringing all these people together. I want to give a shout out to my cousin Steve, who's helping me put together some things that we're going to be introducing to you soon. Guys, it's actually raining out here. This is amazing. Listen, I hope you guys enjoyed this story as much as I enjoyed telling it to you. And I'm going to be giving you guys constant updates. We're going to be going live in the studio every week. It's going to be on the YouTube channel and Facebook Live, but we're going to focus on the YouTube channel so that way we don't have any problems, because sometimes Facebook doesn't like to air our worship music. So guys, I'm super excited. Thanks for watching the video. I look forward to giving you guys an update very soon. And we're going to have a website coming out for the Glory Ranch. If I haven't mentioned that to you, the name of this place is the Glory Ranch. We have the Glory Ranch Studios where I'm going to be recording my music. I'm going to be having other bands come in. I really want to give back, you know, to the Christian music industry. And we just want to be real, guys. God is calling us to revival, okay? And it starts with us. We need to be a light to the world, okay? It's all about Jesus and what he did on the cross for us, okay? So I love you guys. Thank you for watching the video, and I will be updating you very soon. We're going to be coming out with a website, and I'm getting wet. This is great. See you guys soon.